What up, y'all? Today we talking about why you need spiritual gift boundaries while dating. I know you like, what? Why I need boundaries with my spiritual gifts? Look, man, we talking about why you need spiritual gift boundaries while dating. So while you're dating with someone, you need to put boundaries and perimeters and protection around your spiritual gifts. This is something that I feel extremely passionate about, right? And I'm gonna help y'all see this in the Bible as well. So us as people, as God's children, as God's people, God has blessed us with gifts, right? Different gifts. We all got different gifts like mercy, serving, hospitality, teaching, prophecy, pastoring, administrate, like all these different gifts that we might have, right? But I think a lot of us don't know how the enemy knows that we have gifts too, right? Y'all remember when Pharaoh went about and he wanted to kill all the baby boys? So Pharaoh went out to try to kill this little boy because of what he knew he had in him and what he was going to be. This is the same thing that the enemy does with us. The enemy knows God. The enemy knows what God puts inside of us, right? And a lot of times we don't know. We don't know the power. We don't know the strength. We don't know the gifts, the purpose that God has put into our life. But the enemy knows this before you were born. He knows this. And he knows if God can get to them, then they'll be able to see what God has given them, right? So we grow up a lot of times not knowing God, our family not knowing God like that. We don't know our gifts. We know we got talents and strengths, but a lot of times we don't know our own gifts. Right? So we go into these relationships when we get older, and now we got this strength that we have, and we consistently keep giving it to people. Keep giving it, keep giving it, keep giving it. Now, I'm not saying that we shouldn't give these things to people, because a part of our gifts is to give to people, right? To serve people, to love people. God wants to use what he has given us so that we can bless others with that, right? But the thing is that you have to be cautious with your gift. And I think a lot of times we don't know that. Right? Now, let me help you understand why you need to be cautious with your gift, right? Because think about it. The enemy knows that you have this gift that you don't really know that you have. So because he knows that you have a gift that you may not be aware of, he doesn't want you to unwrap this gift. Right now, you may even be moving in this thing because it might be a strength of yours. Like you may love hugging on people and giving to people and helping people and teaching people, but you don't actually know that it's a gift yet. You just know this is something you like to do, or this is something you always do. You don't even know it's a strength yet. But the enemy know that it's a gift, right? So let me help you see this when you go back to Adam and Eve, right? Eve was speaking to the enemy. The enemy lied to her about what she already had. He lied to her. She knew, or she was supposed to know, that she wasn't supposed to eat from that tree, right? The enemy lied to her and presented it as if she didn't have it. He wanted to use what she had against her. You get what I'm saying? And that's what happens a lot of times with us. The enemy said, nuh-uh. God knows that you would know this and that you would have this and that you would be just like him. But in all actuality, she was already like him. She already had this thing. But he used it against her. You get what I'm saying? And caused her to fall, thinking that she didn't have this or thinking that she had to do more to get something that she already had. Now, let me help you understand. When we go into these relationships a lot of time, and even before relationships, we got to understand how the enemy is using people. You get what I'm saying? The enemy will use people to get to us, right? Just like he used Eve to get to Adam. It's the same thing with all of us, right? So the enemy will use people to get to us. So when we go into relationships, if we don't know our gifts before going into a relationship, while dating, in the dating process, we have to be cautious with our gifts. The reason why you got to be cautious while dating, right, is because even if, let's say that you don't like someone, right? Let's just say that you don't like someone and you go around as a girl, you go around, if you're a woman or a man, you go around a bunch of people, right? And you giving everybody this gift, right? You get what I'm saying? Like you let's just say your gift is mercy, right? Your gift is mercy. Your gift is serving. Right? You have a soft heart to people. You have extreme compassion to this person, right? To people around you. You have extreme compassion. And now this person is struggling in their life. They don't have someone to show them mercy. They never felt that before. So when you come around, it feels good to them. They might be deficient in this thing that you're giving them. Like, they never had affection, but now you coming around giving them affection. You get what I'm saying? So now this person that you might not even have interest in is now being pulled towards you. You get what I'm saying? So what is it? Why do you need to be cautious? Because if you give this thing to this person, for one, you could cause this person to fall for you. And as believers, we also got to be careful with our gifts, because God has given it to us, but we need to learn how to use it, or else we're going to misuse it, and we're going to give it to someone. Again, while we're dating, we're going to give it to someone who does not know how to use what God has given you. You may not even know how to use what God has given you, right? But now you're overextending this gift to someone that doesn't even know God like that. Now it makes them feel good, right? It makes them feel good. It makes them attach onto you, right? Especially if you have the gift of mercy, if you have the gift of serving. So this person, you're over here giving to them, you're being kind to them, you're always doing so much for them. This person is getting pulled towards you. You get what I'm saying? And now you probably even like them. But understand that it's an emotional stronghold. It's an emotional pull, because you're giving them a gift that you don't even have full context behind, that you don't even know how to fully use. But understand, you might be giving it to someone who doesn't have a close relationship with God. So in order for them to understand how to even use your gift, right? And how to be able to appreciate your gift, and understand that they got to also protect your gift. You get what I'm saying? They have to be able to go to God too. This is why you got to be cautious, right? And here's another, I'm going to give you an example. I remember one time I was talking to this girl, and she knew my gifts, right? One of my gifts is teaching. As y'all can see, I make these videos. But there's another thing. Women like a man that can teach them something. Women like a man who is passionate about something that he loves. Women love men who love God, right? So I remember one time I was going somewhere. It was going to be a bunch of women. And she was like, don't be talking to no girls. And I'm like, why? And she was like, because you know how women are. And in my mind, I'm thinking, now y'all might think that's insecure, but I understood why she was saying it. She wanted me to protect myself, right? It had nothing to do with her. She was like my sister. Even though we was talking, like, she was mad close and nice and kind, like a sister. So she was trying to protect. So in my mind, I'm like, that makes sense, right? Because I notice when I speak, when I'm extremely passionate, when I'm trying to help, a lot of women get pulled in. You get what I'm saying? A lot of women get pulled in. They love it. And they love the passion, right? So I know what my gift is. So you know what I've told myself? You have to be cautious. You got to set boundaries. So when I'm around women all the time, I'm not going to always be like this no more, right? I can help when they need help, but I don't always got to extend myself, right? I don't always have to do more than I should, because I understand that this could pull on them. And y'all might be like, well, why you can't just be yourself? Look, could Eve just be herself? Let me help y'all see this. Eve just went in there blindly. Well, she went in there kind of blind, right? She was confused on what to do. She was confused on what not to do and what to do. She didn't know where to pull back or none of that, right? She didn't go back to God to get the boundaries. She didn't go back to God to remind her. She just was pulled by what looked good, by what felt good. Now, it's the same thing with us, because it was God inside of her. So it's the same thing with us. The enemy could use this person, right, that you're giving this to, and now you're using it and giving it to someone who's going to be abusing it. God ain't even that close to them. You get what I'm saying? And not even that. You could be pulling in people who haven't even gotten close to God. You get what I'm saying? And now they have an extreme weakness towards you. So I'm not saying don't be yourself. What I'm saying is to create boundaries. Be careful, right? If you're going to go somewhere, if you're going to be around people, if you're going to help them or whatever, understand, if you're a woman, be careful with how you give. Be careful with how you serve. Serve, yes. Give, yes. But be careful, be cautious not to do too much, because you could cause someone to be away. You could cause someone to be pulled by you. And I'm not saying there's nothing wrong. I'm just saying be careful and be cautious. Make sure that you're protecting your gifts, because let's say if you don't know your gift and then you do that person don't know God. And now this person, they love your gift. You understand? But they don't know how to protect your gift. They don't know how to help you maintain your gift. They don't know how to help you strengthen your gift because they just know it makes them feel good and they want it, right? And now narcissists going to pull on that. And that's another thing. Let's just say somebody who's narcissistic, they know that you're extremely merciful, extremely empathetic. They coming after you. So if you're not cautious, they can pull on you. They can use you and abuse you because you was not careful. You understand? You didn't have discernment. This is why we need spiritual gift boundaries. So what I'm saying is when you go somewhere, yes, go serve, go do all of that. But when you're around the opposite sex, even outside of dating, but when you're around the opposite sex, so when you're thinking about dating, be careful because God does not want us to just give away what he has given us. You understand? He wants us while dating or while in a relationship, he wants us to be giving our gift to someone who knows how to use it. You understand? He wants us to give our gift to someone who knows how to come to him about it. Because the gift that we have, it shows who we are. Because God has blessed us to have it. So it's a part of who we are. So we need that strength. We need that caution. We need that love. We need the boundaries, right? There's boundaries in our relationship with God. So we got to be careful. Set boundaries around your spiritual gifts. Don't just walk in a room giving yourself away because that's what Eve did and you see what happened. You got to be cautious. You got to be able to guard what God has given you so that the enemy cannot use you or so the enemy cannot use people to get to you. I hope y'all understand what I'm saying. Just be careful when giving your strengths and just walking into the world. This is who I am. Yes, it is who you are. But don't just give all of who you are to people blindly because the enemy will use that and see that it's a weakness because you are not aware of it. And if you are not aware of something, he can definitely come. He could come and sweep you right off your feet because you can't tell, because you don't know that this is your strength or this is your gift. All right? That's all I wanted to do. I wanted to make this video because I'll be telling a lot of my friends, like, yo, you got to be careful. Like, be careful. Because God don't want you just walking in somewhere, just giving yourself away because that's how the enemy gets you. He gets you because you don't know. He gets you because you're just doing whatever you want. This is why God doesn't let us do whatever we want. This is why God tells us to have discernment. This is why God creates boundaries and perimeters and protection around the covenant and around the things that we do so we can be protected. You got to do this with yourself. God created you. He gave you these gifts and he don't want you to misuse them and just give them freely to everybody. He wants you to know how to use them. And when it comes to love, he wants you to be able to give it to someone who knows how to use it towards you as well. All right? All right, I hope y'all like this video. I hope y'all could understand what I'm saying. I hope I broke it down as good as I could from what I'm thinking right now. If y'all got any questions, put it down in the comments, man. But I love y'all. I'm going to get at y'all when I get at y'all.